Data types vs programming languages. Hi everyone, before straight away talk about the topic, I would like to give you some description about what we are going to do in this video. In this video we will define what a programming language is, the evolution of programming language, description about programming languages we are using here, what are the data types, different categories of data types and how the data types varies in different programming languages. Data types: byte, short, int, long, float, double, char, boolean. Byte. The byte data type is an 8-bit signed 2's complement integer. It has a minimum value of -128 and a maximum value of 127. The byte data type can be useful for saving memory in large arrays, where the memory savings actually matters. They can also be used in place of int, where their limits help to clarify your code. The fact that a variable's range is limited can serve as a form of documentation. Short. The short data type is a 16-bit signed 2's complement integer. It has a minimum value of -32,768 and a maximum value of 32,767. As with byte, the same guidelines apply. You can use a short to save memory in large arrays, in situations where the memory savings actually matters. Integer. The int data type is a 32-bit signed 2's complement integer. For integral values, this data type is generally the default choice unless there is a reason to choose something else. This data type will most likely be large enough for the numbers your program will use, but if you need a wider range of values, use long instead. Long. The long data type is a 64-bit signed 2's complement integer. Use this data type when you need a range of values wider than those provided by int. Float. In computing, floating point describes a system for representing numbers that would be too large or too small to be represented as integers. Numbers are in general represented approximately to a fixed number of significant digits and scaled using an exponent. Use a float, instead of double, to save memory in large arrays. We do not use this data type for the exact values such as currency. The float data type is a single precision 32-bit IEEE 754 floating point. Double. Double variables are stored as signed IEEE 64-bit, 8-byte, double precision floating point numbers ranging in value from -1.79763134866 2, 3, 1, 5, 7, 0, b plus 308 through -4.9, 4, 0, 6, 5, 6, 4, 5, 8, 4, 1, 2, 4, 6, 5, 4, 4, e, -324 for negative values and from 4.9, 4, 0, 6, 5, 6, 4, 5, 8, 4, 1, 2, 4, 6, 5, 4, 4, e, -324 through 1.796931486231570 b plus 308 for positive values. Char. A character type, typically called char, may contain a single letter, digit, punctuation mark, or control character. Some languages have two or more character types, for example, a single byte type for ASCII characters and a multi-byte type for unit characters. The term character type is normally used even for types whose values more precisely represent code units, for example, a UTF-16 code unit as in Java and JavaScript. Characters may be combined into strings. Literals for characters are usually surrounded by quotation marks. Sometimes, single quotes are used for characters. Bool. In computer science, the Boolean or logical data type is a primitive data type having one of two values, true or false, intended to represent the truth values of logic and Boolean algebra. In programming languages that have a built-in Boolean data type, such as Pascal and Java, the comparison operators such as greater than and not equal are usually defined to return a Boolean value. Also, conditional and iterative commands may be defined to test Boolean-valued expressions. Languages without an explicit Boolean data type, like C, may still represent truth values it by some other data type. C uses an integer type, with false represented as the zero value, and true as any non-zero value, such as 1 or -1. Indeed, a Boolean variable may be regarded, and be implemented, as a numerical variable with a single binary digit, bit, which can store only two values. Most programming languages, even those that do not have an explicit Boolean type, have support for Boolean algebra operations such as conjunction, disjunction, equivalence, exclusive or non-equivalence, and not in some languages, the Boolean data type is defined to include more than two truth values. For instance, the ISO SQL 1999 standard defined a Boolean value as being either true, false, or unknown, SQL null. Although this convention defies the law of excluded middle, it is often useful in programming. In mathematical logic, more precisely in the theory of formal languages, and in computer science, a string is a sequence of symbols that are chosen from a set or alphabet. In computer programming, a string is, essentially, a sequence of characters. A string is generally understood as a data type storing a sequence of data values, usually bytes, in which elements usually stand for characters according to a character encoding, which differentiates it from the more general array data type. In this context, the terms binary string and byte string are used to suggest strings in which the stored data does not, necessarily, represent text. A variable declared to have a string data type usually causes storage to be allocated in memory that is capable of holding some predetermined number of symbols. When a string appears literally in source code, it is known as a string literal and has a representation that denotes it as such.